Hi everyone, this is Sandra and
Emmanuel.
so to tell you a little bit about my story in relationship to heart malformation. As a nurse of profession, I did work in cardiothoracic surgery, so heart diseases was something familiar within the adult population. Never did I work with in pediatrics. It was something that was too difficult for me. And so I had no experience with heart malformations at birth. And so when I got the diagnosis, when Emmanuel was diagnosed with transposition of the great arteries, I was pregnant of 6 months. And so it was obviously a huge shock. Obviously you think of the worst that could happen. So from the 6th to the day that I gave birth, obviously, it gave me that time to be able to read, ask questions, especially to Michelle, who was a huge support and help throughout those difficult times and even nowadays. It helped me prepare as much as I could. And it helped me give Emmanuel that strength that I needed to give him. I truly believe that the connection, obviously, that a mom has with their child is super important. And so for me, it was crucial to not only be at peace with the situation, so to accept the situation, to be prepared. It's something that is out of my control. And so I wanted to be the most calm as possible, because I knew that if I would be too stressed, I would, I guess I would give him that stress as well. Needless to say that in my case, I didn't tell anybody, even my mom. And for the first 2 years, she even took it very personal, which I understand her. But for me, it was very important to keep it low key, so people wouldn't, one, feel bad for myself, two, tell me to stop working, stop training. I really truly wanted to just focus on him, providing him the best positive energy, eat well, sleep, train, do everything that I wanted to do. So continue working and be prepared for giving birth. 3rd of September 2013, Emmanuel was born at the old at the Royal Vic, at the old place, and he was transferred that same day to the old children's. Dr. Dancia took the best of care of him as of the first day. Another example that I have to tell you that it has always been in my mind and in my heart, there's two actually. One, when throughout Emmanuel's surgery, Michelle called me a couple of times to tell me where they were at with the surgery, if, obviously if he was still alive, and just reassuring me, because it's very long and very stressful. So I think that aspect is so important. Maybe not for all the parents, but certainly for me, it helped me. The other thing that I will always cherish is when Emmanuel had, I believe he had 3 pneumothorax, and Dr. Samara was there. She was on call that day, and she just, when I pushed myself, she just came to see me afterwards and reassured me and explained to me that it was normal for me to feel like that, but that it was something normal also that was happening when chests were open, obviously after heart surgery. So all these little elements are crucial for the time that you're at the hospital. Again, it's all about the knowledge. It's all about the communication between the staff and the parents. It's all about the understanding of the situation. And even if it's negative, obviously, it's very important to really understand on that specific time and on that day what's going on with your child. Oh. So, as mentioned in the beginning, there's not many, I mean, everything was just, in my case, it was just perfect. But if there are elements that I would discuss in order for the situation to be better, for me personally, when the diagnosis was given, so at 6 months pregnant, the way it was said and explained to me, I found that hard. Not in the sense because of the situation, but of the way it was explained. I find that it was very impersonal. I also understand the side of the doctor that does not want to show emotions or cannot. And again, I understand that part. But as a parent, that moment is something that I'll never forget because obviously it changes your life forever. And so the fact that it was very impersonal, for me, I think that there's ways to improve when something like this is being announced to the parents. And then second of all, as you all know, I'm part of the PICU, I was part of the PICU meetings in advancement. And I know that you guys now have a whiteboard. Back then, obviously at the old children's, there was no whiteboard for the parents, and I truly think that that's something that would have helped me understand the situation even more, maybe even enabled me to not bother the staff so much or so often with all my 10,000 questions. So those are the only two things really. Other than that, I found, I couldn't have asked for a better situation with all the healthcare professionals. Everything was just down-packed, professional. The caring towards my child, the respect, everything just was perfect. So I congratulate everybody for the great work that you guys do. So my experience living with a child who had a heart malformation. So there's different episodes throughout my life since I've had Emmanuel. So when we brought back Emmanuel at home for the first year, I was super overprotective. I still am, but not at that level. I was scared of feeding him. I was asking people. I was limiting whomever was entering my home, so only the grandparents were allowed because I was scared of, bringing in any virus or infections or whatnot. I would ask them to wear a gown. We weren't even COVID time, but that's how overly protective and scared, without even realizing that I was scared of him being sick or of losing him. It's extremely weird to say, but I think of these moments, they're even more clearer for me in my mind and in my heart, even 8 years afterwards than the first year. I guess it's maybe it's a normal process. Michelle has told me that other parents have said the same. But I think in seeing it in a positive way, the fact of having a very sick child and the fact that obviously Emmanuel could have died, it enables me to, I believe, to be a better mom, to be there more than maybe I would have been, because I acknowledge what he's been through and the fact that he needs special care. Emmanuel is a healthy 8-year-old, but he has his deficits with language and fine motor skills, and so he needs a lot of private speech therapist, physio, all these particular private classes that he has. And so for me, it's my duty as a mom, especially that he went through so much, right? The other thing is, maybe I overly protected him, where I was scared of him going for a bike ride, or I'll give you a perfect example. At school is the first time last week that I allowed him taking the bus for a school outing. There's always that scare of losing your child. Even if I try not to, it's stronger than me. The other thing is that I'm so thankful that every morning and every night I thank, the universe and life for giving me Emmanuel, for giving me the chance to live with him and to see him grow, to be able to be that mom that I am now. It actually allowed me to start my own company, to have a philanthropic mission and to give back to the children's, mostly. There's other foundations, but mostly to the children's, mostly to the PQ. You all have a very special place in my heart, and that will be forever, no matter what. There's, so many people that took care of him, but certain people that have been they will always have that special place in my heart and in my mind, are obviously Dr. Danzia, Michelle, Dr. Trevenkov, Dr. Samara, Sarah Claude, who was one of the nurses there, many of the other nurses back then as well. And, it also allows Emmanuel to understand and to be more thankful. I always remind him, not only, with all these things that I have in our room and in his room, but I also have, like a little booklet of, him with his surgery, like this. So it's important for me that he understands how sick he was and how lucky he is. So when he comes back from school and tells me, I'm in pain, or I don't want to do this, or I'm not good, or whatnot, I always remind him what he went through. Because if he was able to go through, open heart surgery and everything, he was very, very sick. He was 4 pounds at term. His kidneys, everything was just shutting down. The pneumothorax that he had, all these things made it that if he was able to go through that, I want him to see, how he can do anything afterwards. And even myself, it enabled me to be stronger. And whenever I'm scared of something, or whenever there's something that goes wrong or is negative, I have that image of my son in the ICU, in his bed, fighting for his life. And so I think for me, it actually, like they say in French, un mal pour un bien. So it was a negative situation, but because he made it through, he is my inspiration. He is my why. He is the why of, our company, Philo Import. And because of all of you and your amazing care and knowledge and technology, all those aspects that you guys offer, So hi parents, my name is Sandra, and I'd like to give you a message of comfort. I went through what you're going through, or what you will be going through soon. My son Emmanuel had the transposition of the great arteries, 37.5 weeks, so term baby, 4 pounds only, very, very sick. He had his surgery, open heart surgery at the Children's at 1 week old. So I know how hard it is. I know the fear. I know all those mixed emotions that you're probably feeling right now. But if I can give you a couple of advices, one, trust in the team. The Montreal Children's Hospital has this amazing team, not only caring, but also so knowledgeable. The medical equipment, the technology, everything is just down packed. And so, one, you need to stay calm. Try not to be stressed, or at least keep it inside, because your child needs to feel reassured by their parent. Also, you need to eat well and take care of yourself. You need to drink water so you can not lose your patience, because it's extremely important to just be grounded, to visualize that your child will go through this, and you have to look at this in a holistic way, and not only just those little negative or bad moments that your child is going through. You have to ask questions to the team. You have to understand the situation, because that way, the more you understand, whether it's positive or negative, the more you'll be able to be in charge of the situation and be there for your child. Even if you can't hold your child, they feel you. They know how if the parents are, how they're feeling, and so you don't want to cause more stress on them. So all in all, please have faith in the medical team, have faith in universe, and have faith in life. I was given the most beautiful thing ever, my son Emmanuel, who went through rough times 8 years ago, and now he's a healthy 8-year-old. So from the bottom of my heart, I want you to know that every morning I think of all you. I always light up a little candle in order for me to just send out some positive vibes. And so I wish you all the best, and stay positive, okay?